Hello friends, my name is Rency Sangani and today we will continue our story. So we start. Uh, Behold Ganandha Baba on the leopard skin. He can give the natural perfume of any flower to a scentless one or revive a wilted blossom or make person's skin execute delicious fragrances. I looked directly at the sun. His quiz gaze rested on mine. He was plump and bearded, with dark skin and large gleaming eyes. Son, I am glad to see you. Say what you want. Would you like some perfume? What for? I thought his remark rather childish to experience the miraculous way of enjoying perfumes, harnessing God to mad orders. What of it? God makes perfume anyway. Yes, but he fashions frail brothers and frail bottles of petals for fresh use and discard. Can you materialize flower? Yes, but usually I produced perfumes, little friend. Then scent factories will go out of business. I will I will permit them to keep their trade. My own purpose is to demonstrate the power of God. Sir, is it necessary to prove God? Isn't He performing miracles in everything and everywhere? Yes, but we too should manifest some of His infinite creative variety. How long did it take to master your art? 12 years. For a manufacturing scants by astral means, it seems my honored son, you have been wasting a dozen year for a fragrance which you can obtain with a few rupees for a florist shop. Perfume fed with flowers, perfume fed with death. Why should I decide that which please the body only? My philosopher, you please my mind. Now stretch forth your right hand, and he made a gesture of blessing. I was a few feet away from uh, Gandha Baba. No one else was near enough to contact my body. I extend my hand, which the yogi did not touch. What perfume do you want? Rose. Be it so. To my great surprise, the charming fragrances of rose was wafted strongly from the center of my palm. I smilingly took a large white scentless flower from a neighbor vase. Can these outdoor-less blossoms be permanent with jasmine? Be it so. Jasmine fragrances instantly shoot from the petals. I thanked the wonder worker and seated myself by one of his students. He informed me that Gandha Baba, whose proper name was Swami Vishwananda, it's a Swami Vishwuthananda, had learned many astonishing yoga secrets from a master in Tibet. The Tibetan yogi, I was assured, had attained the age of over 1,000 years. His discipline Gandha Baba does not always perform his perfume fits in the simple verbal manner you can and a manner you had just a windance. The student spoke with obvious pride in this master. His produced differs widely. To accord with diversity in temperaments, he is marvelous. Many members of the Calcutta intelligentsia are among his flowers. I inwardly resolved not to add myself to their number. A guru to literally marvelous was not my linking. With the polity thanks to Gandha Baba, I departed. Sauntering home, I reflected on the three varied encounters the day had brought forth. My sister Uma met me as I entered the door. You are getting quite stylish, using perfumes. Without a word, I, mo- I, I motioned her to smell my hand. What an attractive rose fragrance! It is usually strong, thinking it was strongly unusual. I silently placed the astrology sentence and blooms under the nostrils. Oh, I love jasmine. She sighs, she she sneezed the flower. ludicrous bafflement passed over her face as she repeatedly sniffed the odor of jasmine from a type of flower she well knew to be scentless. Her reaction dismayed my suspicion that Gandha Baba might have induced in me at an autosuggestive state, whereby I alone could detect the fragrances. Later, I heard from a friend, Alaknanda, that the perfume scent had a power which I wish were possessed by the striving million of the world. I was present with the 100 other guests at Gandha Baba's home in Burdwan. Alaknanda told me it was a gala occasion because the yogi was reputed to have the power of extracting objects out of thin air. I laughingly requested and him to materialize some out of season teenagers. Immediately, the luchis that had been served on all the banana leaf plates become puffed up. Each of the bread envelopes proved to contain a pilgrims. I bit into my own with some trepidation, but found it delicious. Years later, I understood by inner realization how Gandha Baba accomplished his materialization. The method, alas, is beyond the reach of the world's hungry hoarders. The different sensory stimuli to which man's react, tactile, visual, gustatory, auditory, and olfactory, are produced by vibratory variation in electrons and protons. The vibration in the tone are regulated by prana. It's a life trance, subtle life force or finer than automatic energies and intelligence charged with the five distinct distinctive sensory idea substance. Gandha Baba, outtuning himself with the pranic force by certain yoga practices, was able to guide the life strong to rearrange their vibratory structure and to objectify the desired result. His perfume, fruit, and other miracles were actual materialization of mundane vibration and were not inner sensations hypotensionally produced. Hypnotism has been used by physician in minor operations as a sort of physical coliform for a person who might be engaged by an enthusiastic. But a hypotension state is harmful to those often subjected to it. Negative psychological effect ensues that in the time dangerous, the brain cells hypnotism is transpassed into the trajectory of another's calculations. It is temporary. It is a temporary phenomena. Have nothing in common with the miracle performed by man of divine realization. Awake in God, true sant effect change in this dream world by means of a will harmoniously and tuned to the creative cosmic dreamer. Wonder workings such as those shown by the perfume sant as spectacular but spiritually useless, having little purpose beyond entertainment. There are degrees from a serious search for God. Ostentatious display of unusual powers is described and is decided by mentors. The precious mystic abused once laughed at certain fakers who were proud of their miraculous powers over weather, air, and space. A frog is also at home in the water, Abu Said pointed out in gentle scone. The crow and the vulture easily fly in the air. The devil is simultaneously present in the east and it in the west. A true man is he who develops in righteousness among his fellow men who may buy and sell, yet is never for a single instant forgetful of God. On another occasion of the great Christian teachers gave his views on the religious life thus to lay aside what you have to you in head, uh, to bestow freely what you have in your hand, and never to flinch from the blows of adversity. Neither an imperial sage at Kalighat temple, nor the Tibetan trained yogi and satisfied my yearning for a guru. My heart needed to no tutor for its recognitions and cried a spontaneous bravo. The more, the more resoundingly, because it was unfounded, summoned from slants. When I finally meet my master by slumming of example along, he taught me the measure of a true man. The Tiger Swami. I have discovered the Tiger Swami's address. Let us visit him tomorrow. His welcome suggestion came for a Chandi, and one of my high school friends. I was eager to meet the Sant, who in who in his premonastic life had caught and fought tigers with his naked hand. A boyish enthusiasm over such remarkable facts was strong within me. The next day, dawn windy cloud, but Chandi and I sailed for Fourth Galley. After much vain hunting in Bhuvanipur, outside Calcutta, we arrived at the right house. The door held two iron ring, and which I sounded up piercingly. Notwithstanding the clamour, a servant approached with a leisurely gait. His ironical smile implied the noisy visitor were powerless to distribute the calmness of a sant homes. Feeling the silent rebuke, my companion and I were thankful to be invited into the parlor. Our long wait there blessed us with her misgivings and Indians unwritten law for the truth seeker is patience. A master may purposely make a test of one's angers to meet him. This philosophical ruse is freely employed in the West by doctors and dentists. Finally, summoned by the servant, and Chandi and I entered a sleeping apartment, the famous Shohong. Swami was scanned on his bed. The sight of the tremendous body affected us strangely with bluing eyes. We stood speechless. We had never before seen such a chest or such football-like beasties. On an immense neck, the Swami's face, yet calm face, and was enthroned with following locks, beard, and moustache. A hint of dove-like and tiger-like qualities shone in his dark eyes. He was unclothed, save for a tiger skin about his muscular weight. Finding our voices, my friend and I greeted the monk, experiencing and administration of his powerless in the extraordinary felony arena. Will you not tell us, please, how it is possible to subdue it with a brace fist and the most ferocious of jungle beasts, the royal Bengals? My sons, it is nothing to me 5 tigers. I could do it today is if necessary. He gave a childlike laugh. You look upon tigers as tigers. I know them as the pussycats. Swamiji, I think I could impress my subconscious with the thought that tigers are pussycats. But could I make tigers believe it? Of course, strength also is necessary. One may not expect victory from a baby who images a tiger to be a house cat. Powerful hands are my sufficient weapon. He asked us to follow him to the piano and the patio, where he struck the edge of a wall. A brick crashed to the floor. The sky peered bloodily through the page, through the gate. The lost tooth space in the well. I started in the association. He who can remove a mortared brick from a solid well with one blow, I thought must surely be able to displace the teeth of tigers. I number a number of men have a physical power such as a mine, but still lack in cool confidence. Those who are a bloody, uh, boldly, but not mentally salvert may find themselves fainting at the merry sight of the wild beast bounding freely in the jungle. The tiger, in its natural factory and habitat, is vastly different from the opium-fed circus animal. Many a man with Herculean strength has nonetheless been terrorized into abject helpless before the onslaught of the Royal Bengal. Thus the tiger has converted the man in his own mind of to a state as fearful as a pussycat. It is possible for a man owning a fairly strong body and an immensely strong determination to turn the tables on the tiger and force into a convention of pussycats different cells. How often I have done just that. I was quite I was quite willing to believe that the titan before me was able to perform the tiger pussycat metamorphosis. He seemed to be in a dedicated mood. Chandi and I listened respectfully. Mind is the wide leader of muscles. The force of a hammer blow depends on the energy applied. The power expressed by a man's bodily instrument depends on his aggressive will and courage. The body is literally manufactured and sustained by mind, through tissues of inspections from past lives, strengths or weakness per cloud gradually into human consciousness. They express as habit, which in turn manifest as a described or undescribable body. Outward fatally has a mental origin in a vicious circle. The habit bounded body draws the mind. If the master allows himself to be commanded by a servant, the latter become autocorrect. The mind is similarity inserved by submitting to body direction. At our annotated, the impressive Swami consented to tell us something of his own life. My earliest ambition was to fight tigers. My will was mighty, but my body was feeble. At ejaculations of surprise broke from me. I appeared incredible that this man, now with Atlantic shoulders and fit to bear, could ever have no weakness. It was by indomitable presidency in thoughts of health and strength that I overcame my handicap. I have every reason to extol the complaining mental vigor which I found to be the real subduer of royal Bengals. Do you think, revered Swami, that I could ever fight tigers? This was the first time and the last time that the bizarre ambitious ever visited my mind. Yes, he was smiling. But there are many kinds of tigers. Some roam in jungles of human desire. No spiritual benefit accrues by knowing beats unconscious, rather be victor over the inner proverb. May we hear, sir, how you changed from the tamer of wild tigers to a tamer of wild patients? The tiger Swami fell into silence. Remoteness came into his gaze, summoning visions of beyond years. I discerned his slight mental struggle to decide whatever to grant my request. Finally, he smiled in acquiescence. When my fame reached a zenith, it brought the exchange of pride. I decided not only to fight tigers but to display them in various tricks. My ambition was to force savage beasts to behave like domesticated ones. I began to perform my feats publicly with gratifying success. Once evening, my father entered my room in a pensive mood. Son, I have words of warning. I have of warning. I would save you from coming ills produced by the greetings wells of cause and effect. Are you a fatalist, father? should superstitions be allowed to discolor the powerful waters of my activities? I am not fatalist, son, but I believe in the just law of retribution as tough in the holy scriptures. There is resentment against you in the jungle family. Sometimes it may act you your cost. Father, you Father, you astonish me. You well know what tigers are beautiful, but Mary Clares, who knows my blows, my injections, and some slight something of condensation into their trick hats and its trick heads. I am headmaster in the forest finishing school to teach them gentle manners. Please, father, think of me as a tiger tamer and never as tiger killer. How could my good actions bring ill upon me? I beg you not to impose any command that I change my way of life. Chandi and I were all attention. Understanding the past dilemma in India, a child does not lightly disobey his parents' wishes. The tiger Swami went on. In stoic silence, father listened to my explanation. He followed it with a disclosure which he uttered gravely. Son, you compel me to relate on ominous predictions from the lips of a sant. He approached me yesterday as I sat on the veranda in my daily meditation. Dear friend, I come with a message for your belligerent son. Let him cease his savage activities, otherwise his next tiger encounter shall result in his several wounds, followed by 6 months of daily and deadly sickness. He shall then forsake his former way and become a monk. Uh, this tale did not impress me. I considered that the father had been the credulousest victims of the deluded fantastic. The Tiger Swami made these confections with an impatient gesture as thought as some stupidity, grimly silent for a long time. He seemed obviously and over our presence when he took up at a dangly thread of his narrative. It was suddenly with a Sudibit's voice. Not long after father's warning, I visited the capital city of Coach Bihar, and the picture square territory was new to me, and I expect the restful change. As usual, everywhere a curious crowd followed me on the streets. I would catch bits of a whispered comment. This is the man who fight with wild tigers. Has he legs on three trunks? Look at his face. He must be an incarnation of the king of the tigers himself. You know how village urchins functions like final editions of a newspaper? With what speed do the even letter speech bullets of the woman circulate from house to house? Within a few hours, the whole city was in a state of excitement over my presence. I was relaxing quietly in the evening when I heard the hoofbeats of a galloping horse. They supported in front of my dwelling place. In came a number of tall, turbaned policemen. I was taken aback. All things are possible unto these creatures of human law. I thought, I wonderful if they are going to take me to task about matters and utterly unknown to me. But the officers bowed with unwanted courtesy. Honorest sir, we are sent to welcome you on behalf of the Prince of Coach Bihar. He is pleased to invite you to his place tomorrow morning. I speculated a while on the prospect. For some obscure reasons, I felt sheer regret at this interruption in my quiet trip. But the suppliant manner of the policeman moved me. I agreed to go. I was bewildered, and the next day to be obviously escorted from my door to into a magnificent coach drawn by four horses. A servant held on ornate umbrella to protect me from from the scorching sunlight. I enjoyed the pleasant ride through the city and its woodlands outstreaks. The royal season and the royal skins himself was the what was at the place door to welcome me. He proffered his own gold broadcast seat, similarly placing himself in a chair of simple design. All this politeness is certainly going to cost me something. I thought in mounting association, the prince motive emerged after a few causal remarks. My city is filled with me. Rumor that you can fight wild tigers with nothing more than your naked hands. Uh, is it a fact? It is quite true. I can scarcely believe it. You can a Kolkata Bengali neutered on a wild rice city folk. Be frank, please. Have you not been fightingly, and have you not been fighting only spindlens? Opium feed animals. His voice was loud and scared. His speech tingled with Provincial accents. I I vouchsafed no reply to his insulting questions. I challenge you to fight my newly coached tiger, Raja Begum. If you can successfully resist him, bind him with a chain, and depart his case in a conscious state. You shall have this royal Bengal, several thousand rupees, and many others gifts shall also be absorbed. If you refuse to meet him in combat, I shall bezzle your name throughout the state as an impostor. His insolent words struck me like a volley of bullet. I shoot at energy expectant, half risen from the chair in his excitement. The prince snapped back with a sadistic smile. I was reminded of the Roman emperors who delighted in setting Christmas and in Bastille's errand. He said, "The match will be set off for a week hence. I regret that I cannot give you permission to view the tiger in advance." Whatever the prince feared, I might seek to hypnotize the beasts or secretly feed him opium. I know not. I left the place. Nothing with amusement that the royal umbrella and panapolied coach were now missing. The following week, I methodically prepared my mind and body for the coming ordeal. Through my servant, I learn of fantastic tales, the sent direful predictions to my father, and somehow got abroad. Energy as it run. Many simple villagers believed that an evil spirit crossed by the gods had recognized as a tiger which took various demonians from at night, but remained a stripped animal during the day. These demon tigers were supposed to be the one set of humble me. Another imagination and another imaginative version was that animal prayers to tiger heaven had achieved a response in the shape of Raja Begum. He was to be the instrument to punish me. The audacious beeped, so installing to the entrance tiger species of virulence fan glasses, men darling, and men daring to challenge claw-armed, sturdy limbed tiger. The force of concocted venom of all humiliated tigers, the villager declared. The gathered momentum sufficient to operate hidden laws and bring about the fall of the proud tiger tamer. My servant further appreciated me that the prince was in his element as manager of the bout between man and beasts. He had surprised and he has supervised the erections of a storm-proof pavilion designed to accommodate thousands. Its center held Raja Begum in an enormous iron cage surrounded by an outer safety room. The captive emitted a caseless and a caseless series of blood-curdling roars. He was fed sparingly. To kindle a worthful appetite, perhaps the prince expected me to be the meal of reward. Crowds from the city and and suburbs bought tickets urgently in response to the beat of drums announcing the unique contest. The day of battle saw hundreds turned away for lack of seats. Many men broke through the tent openings or crowded any space below the galleries. As the Tiger Swami stories approached climax, my excitement mountained with it. Chandi also was repeatedly mute. Immediate pressing sound explosions from Raja Begum and the Habib of the terrified crowd. I quickly made my appreciations, scantily clad around the waist. I was otherwise uh, otherwise unprotected by clothing. I opened the blot on the door of the safety room and calmly locked it behind me. The tiger sends blood leaping with a thousand-year crash on the bars. He sent forth a freakish welcome. The audiences was hushed with pitiful fear. I seemed a meek lamb reigning beast. Before the reigning beast. In a, in a trice, I was within the cage, but as I slammed the door, Raja Begum was headlong upon me. My right hand was disappointedly drawn. Human blood, the greatest treat. A tiger can know fell in appealing streams. The prophecy of the sun seems about to be fulfilled. I reeled instantly from the shock of the first serious injury I had never and I have ever received, banishing the sight of my glory fingers by thrusting them beneath my waistcloth. I swing my left arm in a bone-cracking blow, and the beast reeled back, swayed around the rear of the cage, and sprang forward confusedly. My famous fistic punishment rained on his head. But Raja Begum's taste of blood had attacked like the maddening first sip of wine to a disappointing, long depraved, punctuated by differing roads. The beauty's assault grew in fury. My inadequate defense of only one hand left me vulnerable before close and franks. But I dealt out dazing revelations, manually ensuring we struggled as to the death. The cage was pandemonious, as blood splashed in the all direction, and a blast of the pain and lethal lust came from the bestial throat. Shoot him, kill the tiger. Shrieks arose from the audience. So fast did man and best move that I guard bullet when amiss. I mastered all my vile process, bellowed fiercely, and landed a final conclusive blow. The tiger collapsed and lay quietly, like a pussycat. I injected. The Swami laughed in hearty appreciation and then continued the engrossing tale. Raja Begum was vanquished. At least his royal pride was further humbled. With my lair-graced hands, I audaciously forced open his jaws. For a dramatic moment, I held my head within the yawning death trap. I looked around for a chain. Pulling once from a peel on the floor, I bound the tiger by his neck to the cage bars. In a triumph, I moved toward the door. But that fine, increated Raja Begum had a stamina worth of his supported demontian origin. With an incredible long, he snapped the chain and leaped on my back. My shoulder fast in his jabs, I feel woundly and I feel violently, but in a trice I had him pinned beneath me under Miriclan's blows. The treacherous animal sank into semi-consciousness. This time I secured him for more carefully. Slowly I left the cage. I found myself in a new upper air. His this time one of the delicious. The crowded chairs broke as throat from a single Gaidian throat. Distressly mallured, I had yet fulfilled the three conditions of the fight: stunning the tiger, binding him with a chain, and leaving him without requiring assistance for myself. In addictions, I had so drastically injured and fractured head, the aggressive beats that he had been content to overlook, and the opportune prize of my head in his mouth. After my wounds had been treated, I was hunted and garlanded. Many gold pieces were showered at my feet, and the whole city entered a holiday period. Endless discussions were heard on all sides about my victory over one of the largest and most savage tigers ever seen. Raja Begum was the president to me, as promised, but I felt no election. A spiritual change had entered my heart. It seems me that with my final exit from the cage, I had also closed the door on my worldly ambitions. I viewful period followed. For 6 months, I lay near death from blood poisoning. As soon as I was well enough to leave Koch Bihar, I returned to my native town. I know now that my teacher is the holy man who gave the wise warning. I humbly made these confessions to my father. Oh, if I could only to find him! My longing and was sincere. For one day, the sun arrived unheaded. Enough of tiger taming. He spoke with calm assurance. Come with me. I will teach you to subjugate the best of ignorance remaining in jungles of the human mind. You are used to an audiences, let it be a galaxy of angles, entertained by your thrilling mastery of yoga. I was initiated into the spiritual path by my saintly guru. He opened my soul door. Rustily and recent, with a long distance hand in hand, we soon set out for my training in his Himalayas. Chandi and I bowed at the Swami's feet, grateful for his outline of cyclonia life. My friend and I felt amply repaid for the long probability wait in the cold parlor. Thank you.